What's going on, Collab Crew? My name is Andrea.
And I'm Ashley.
And we are empowering estheticians one conversation at a time.
Welcome back to the SD Collab podcast. Today we have a special guest speaker, Dr. Caryne Moodie. Aren't you so excited?
I am so excited. I just love her so much. So happy to have her here. My favorite injector. We know all about her. Why don't you let the people know who you are?
Oh my gosh, thank you guys. My name is Caryne Moodie. Well, Dr. Caryne Moodie, I gotta keep saying that. Owner, operator of Pretty Moves Wellness. I am also Pretty Moves Injector on Instagram. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so we're, again, so happy to have you here. Can you tell a little bit about your background, how it is that you started in the industry, and how long you've been a nurse?
Yes, so I have been a nurse going on 12 years, became a nurse practitioner going on 5 years now, came into the beauty industry after being a women's health nurse practitioner. Love everything about women, wanted to get more into the beauty side. A lot of people actually don't know, I used to be a makeup artist. I kind of wanted to bring the health and beauty together, and so we have me becoming an aesthetic provider.
Oh, that sounds so cool.
After doing nursing bedside for so long, I kind of got bored, and I was like, okay, what else can I do to try to find my identity? And I always love to do my own makeup, so I was like, you know what, let me try to do other people's makeup, and I did it for a couple years, actually.
That's good. I love that. Your makeup looks great today anyway.
Thank you. I had to do it myself, actually.
Well, you did a great job. You look beautiful.
You did.
Thank you.
So today's episode is called Tales in the Treatment Room. And we wanted to kind of pick your brain about where injections fit in with skincare. So one of the questions that we had was, where is it that you see injections going from, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Like, what are your thoughts about that?
Okay, so when it comes to injections, we have to kind of understand, there's multiple different types of injections, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of times we think of injections, we only think of derma fillers, we think of Botox, but actually there's actually 4 different types of fillers. There's the hyaluronic acid-based fillers, mm-hmm. There's your calcium-based fillers, there's PLLA fillers. I'm not gonna go into the technical term because it's like a tongue twister. But there's different type of fillers, there's different type of neurotoxin. So when it comes to injectables, it depends on what you're trying to achieve. Right now, the research is showing that we're going more towards biostimulators. These are injectables that actually make your body create elastin and a collagen. As you guys both know, after a certain age, we start to lose the ability to make the same amount of collagen and elastin that we used to be able to make in our 20s.
Yeah.
So we are going more towards having our bodies create these things versus putting something foreign and hoping it lasts.
Yeah, okay.
So there's a lot of different options out there, and I think we can agree it's important for everybody to know all the different options and what might be best for them and, to get them to their long-term goals and, the safest option for them as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what would you say to someone, let's say, right out of high school, wanting to get their lips done, wanting to get some Botox? What would you say to that young girl who feels that they need it, as soon as they turn 18?
Honestly, it's such wild times that people are thinking about getting Botox and fillers right out of high school. But as a women's health nurse practitioner, one thing I didn't think I would ever see is young girls at the age of 18 getting boob jobs. So I know these things happen. I'm not that provider, so don't sign up for me. I will not give an 18-year-old fillers, Botox. You don't need it, okay? Yeah. When we talk about Botox in particular, we're looking for premature wrinkles, right? We're looking for stagnant lines. We're looking for after you smile, are those lines still there? After you frown, are those 11 still there? At 18, you don't have that.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you're asking my opinion, my professional opinion, they don't need it at 18. Honestly, most of my clients start at around the age 30, 25, the youngest. And even then, when I do my consultation, if you don't need it in certain areas for prevention, I won't inject you there. So to me, I would say 30s, you should probably start, doing a consultation, maybe getting into medical grade skincare. I advocate for my SDs, definitely seeing an esthetician, getting your skincare up to par, because that also helps with prevention of those signs of ages such as wrinkles.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And would you say too, a lot of the times I hear, and I do agree with this personally as well, that skincare can help you achieve most of the results that you want to see, especially at a young age. You know, once we get into more mature skin and we've lost a lot of that collagen, elastin, that volume in the face, it can be a little bit harder to get back to that more youthful complexion. But with skincare, partnering hand in hand with Botox, so Botox would also help to freeze things, but it's not necessarily going to give you good skin. Is that correct?
Exactly. I always tell my clients to pair what they get as far as injections with their skincare treatments. It's like insurance of what you're buying. You're spending a lot of money on these injectables. If you have horrible skin, you're not going to see the results. So it's very imperative that you pair up what you get done in the treatment as far as injections with skincare. I'm really big on not only medical grade skincare, but just a good skin routine. And you guys can definitely attest to that.
Yeah, no,
a
for
good
sure.
skin routine goes a long way.
It does.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
So when it comes to a client coming to see you, how do you decipher what it is that they need? Like if a client came in and said to you, I want the full shebang. Give me a full face, Botox, fillers, lips, cheek, masseters, all of that. Mm-hmm. How do you go about picking what it is that they need for, I guess, to accomplish their goals?
So with me, I like to do a very thorough consultation. We all know this is like a luxury treatment. Nobody needs Botox and fillers, right? We all want to just gracefully age. So a lot of times when people come to me, I definitely allow you to tell me what it is that you're looking for. Sometimes it's something small. Sometimes it's, Botox and fillers are trending, right? Aesthetic treatments are trending. So it's like they see a celebrity like, oh, I want to look like her. That's impossible. I'm not Houdini, I cannot change your looks. So I definitely like to do a thorough consultation. I always start off with asking the client, what is it that you like about yourself? Because we tend to kind of focus on the negative. I think it's best that we look at what do we like and how can we accentuate that,
Yeah.
So once I start there and they give me kind of like a laundry list, I go to the most, I try to go to that area that will give you the most bang for your buck.
Right.
So if you're someone who have a lack of cheek volume, or, you have big masseters, yes, I will try to put some neurotoxins in there or give you some more volume in those areas to kind of give you a nice harmonized look. But will I treat you with everything you asked me for? Probably not.
What I can say too is you are so good with making sure that people keep their naturalness whenever they get done getting a treatment from you. Like they don't look like a completely different person, which we see all over the internet, which could be kind of scary. Mm-hmm. But you do a really good job on keeping that natural look and keeping the balance between getting injections and keeping them looking like themselves. So I really do love that about you, girl.
You know my motto, natural, undetectable injectables. I want you to look like yourself. I'm not trying to change you into someone else. I feel like when you can enhance someone's natural beauty, you give them a boost of confidence that they felt like they lost when they were, whatever they were going through. So I definitely want to keep you looking like yourself, just more refreshed.
Love that.
Yeah, I love that approach. And I think also too, with you mentioning that you're asking your clients what their favorite part, their favorite features are, is a good way to kind of balance as well in that consultation. We're always our own worst critics.
Yeah.
So to have somebody mention things that they feel good about themselves, and then might also align with how you're going to treat them as a patient as well. So I think that's a great approach too.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You're always looking for the best of your clients in mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love that
Yeah.
so much. So what would you say to the girlies that go to injectors without doing their research? Because there are a lot of injectors out here that get off-label products, right? What would you say to a consumer on making sure that they're getting safe products that is not going to cause any harm to their bodies after a couple years of getting injections done? Because we've seen all kinds of like horror stories out here. So
Yeah.
what would you say to that?
I mean, just like anything that we do in life, there's risk to everything. It's very, very important to make sure you're doing research on the injector. It's okay to go in and ask someone, hey, can I see your license?
Yeah.
Hey, can I see the places you've trained at? A lot of us actually have it listed on our Instagram, our websites. You know, you could even look on my website. All of my accolades are on there. I think it's okay to ask, like, hey, can I see the box that you're opening? You know, can I know what company you use? A lot of the more popular fillers, they're well-known fillers from well-known FDA-approved companies. So this is not something that you can't Google to find. Unfortunately, because aesthetic treatments have become so trendy and popular, you do have those people that do cut corners and try to get things from overseas.
That's crazy. That's so scary.
I know.
Weren't we talking about that the other day? There was a girl who came out with what's that thing?
Yes. So
what is it called?
There, necrotizing fasciitis. Yes. A young lady. Yes, there was a young lady. She was a bodybuilder, I believe, who went to a wellness spa just for B12, a simple B12 shot. You know, B12 gives you that boost of energy, boosts your metabolism. She wanted a little something to give her a pep in her step. Thought it was something safe. Later on, end up developing necrotizing fasciitis. If you don't know what that is, that's actually a flesh-eating bug. This poor girl had to have multiple surgeries, and now she's dealing with something that she's going to have to deal with the rest of her life, all because a spa wanted to cut corners and order something like B12 from another country.
Wow.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's really scary.
Yeah.
And I think going back to what we said too, not being afraid to ask, you know, about the accolades, ask about their client testimonials, other clients that these injectors have seen and treated, and how was their experience. I mean, I think it's not just part of the due diligence, but like a necessity.
Yeah.
When you are, you know, having somebody inject things into your body, you need to do your research. And, you know, every state is a little bit different. We know from, you know, what scope of practice is for estheticians versus injectors. There are some states here in the US where estheticians can train to be injectors. And, you know, that's fine if they have the right training, you know, because it's within their scope. So if they go through the training, fine. But otherwise, you know, there are websites that we can look up to verify that somebody's actually licensed and verify their scope of practice and what they're licensed for. We know that both of our esthetician license can be looked up through, you know, Florida DBPR website.
Right.
And same with you, Caryne, listed on nurses.com, I'm sure.
Yes.
So, you know, the research is imperative to make sure that we're not putting ourselves in these dangerous situations.
Yeah,
no, for sure.
And as you know, in the state of Florida, you have to be a nurse practitioner, a physician assistant, or a physician to actually inject. There are some states, like you said, that allows RNs, LPNs, estheticians to inject. But even with those states, you have to have a medical director on site. In the state of Florida, you do have to have a medical director if you're doing aesthetic practice type services, but they don't have to be on site. There's so many different ways to do things. Just make sure you do it the right way.
Yes, and again, consumers, do your research, because if you are out there injecting as an esthetician, you know you're wrong, because you should not be doing it, but we see it.
Yeah. Work within your scope of practice, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary.
And so I think also today, too, we'd like to do maybe some myth busters, or just talk about some of the scary things that are out there with fillers, injectables, Botox. You know, there are some people that are totally against it because of some of these scary things that we're seeing. Things like adverse reactions to Botox, or, you know, this recent viral video that we've seen with this MRI, you know, and this filler not dissolving. So what would your thoughts be about that, Caryne?
Yeah, so before we start this conversation, we definitely have to break down side effects versus adverse reactions. So side effects are basically things that we know can happen. We can treat it if it happens. We just don't want it to happen, but it's something that can happen and we got it, right? When it comes to adverse reactions, those are the more life-threatening things that we absolutely don't want it to happen. We have to report it immediately, and we have to act fast. When it comes to derma fillers, and that's another reason why you should really go to someone who's licensed. There's so many things that can happen with derma fillers. You know, a lot of times people don't realize, like, our face is full of vascular veins, arteries, that if you occlude any of these things, you will kill the tissue. If you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen pictures of disfigurements, dead tissue,
Yeah.
people who have to get surgery after going to an unlicensed injector. And that's because you really have to know your anatomy. You have to know exactly where you're going, exactly where the product is meant to go into. So we don't only just put it down to bone. We put it in different planes of the skin, we put it in different planes of the tissue, and we put it down to bone. It's just what that product is indicated for is how you're supposed to use it. So going back to that MRI, there's so many variables when it comes to that MRI. And I actually follow that doctor. I actually really like him. He's very informative in a lot of things that he put out. The only thing I do disagree is that when he put that MRI out, and I want to say he came back and said something because a lot of people came after him, he did not give the variables. So what are the variables? What was the product used? How long ago did this woman get it? Was it a total of, I want to say the video said 12 mLs of filler. Was it over time? Was it all in one sitting?
Right,
Those are
right.
different variables that we do have to look at to really find out how true is this MRI. Back in the day, they used to use permanent filler. Today, we use hyaluronic filler. And as you guys know, hyaluronic acid is basically what? Sugar and jelly, right? Yeah. Our bodies naturally produce it, and we have the man-made kind. So nowadays, with the hyaluronic acid, it does metabolize. Does it fully metabolize? 100%? No. But a lot of it does metabolize. So if you was to take an MRI of someone who had hyaluronic acid maybe 5 years ago, it would not match that MRI that you saw previously from that doctor.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So it's safe to say that we don't have to, we take everything we see on the internet with a grain of salt too, right? Speak to your injector and they will let you know these side effects versus adverse reactions that are possibilities. And I think it's important to talk to your clients about these things in the consultation process and what could go wrong potentially, so that everybody kind of understands the benefits and the risks and they can make the right decision for themselves based on that.
Yeah. With every one of my clients, before I even put a needle to skin, I go over what can happen, things to look out for, when to call me. Everyone have my personal number. So if it's an emergency, I don't care if it's 3 o'clock in the morning, you call me so we can address it right then and there.
Yeah. So when you were saying that we know that things can go wrong with certain treatments being done the wrong way because we have so many veins and we don't want to mess up any tissue in our face. It kind of reminded me of the Hyaluron pen.
Oh, the Hyaluron Lip Pen.
Hyaluron Lip Pen.
Yes.
Listen, I don't like that.
Dangerous.
That is so dangerous. And, say what you want, but I tell you right now, there is no training that anybody has gotten for that pen that can assure you that it's done with safety. Zero. Yeah. You don't know the anatomy of the lips properly. You don't know if you're going to hit a vein in the lips. And there's a lot of people out there, estheticians, doing the Hyaluron pen injections. And I think that is so scary because you may do some nice lips, but what happens when you hit that vein? What are you going to do? You're not trained to react, I guess. The first thing you're going to do is call 911 and get the customer out, of course. But I think that is so scary to even touch on that because that's just not something that we learned in school. So as an esthetician, my personal opinion, I just don't feel like they should be doing the injections with that pen. Yeah. I feel like it's so dangerous.
Yeah, so hyaluronic pen is actually not FDA approved to be used in the U.S.
Say it louder for the people in the back. Please say it louder for the people in the back.
So first of all, have you guys seen how it works?
Yes.
It's like a pressurized pen or something that pushes whatever it is, because they say it's hyaluronic acid, but no one can verify it's hyaluronic acid. Did you know you can buy it from Amazon?
You can buy it from Amazon. That's insane.
That should tell you a lot.
That's insane.
Yeah. So
and I've seen horror stories with that. I've seen people lose part of their lip because they did hit that vein that was in the lip because it wasn't done properly. And to me, I wouldn't even want to do anything like that. I'm sorry. I'm a facial specialist, corrective skin all day. I'm not messing with no one's lips. I'll just send them to you.
I actually had a client that had the hyaluronic pen done. Thank God she did not have any adverse reactions, but she had no results. She said she had swelling for maybe 2 to 3 days, and she said nothing happened after that. Honestly, the science behind it, I don't really see how that gel. I don't want to say it's hyaluronic acid because I don't know what it is in there. I don't see how the gel is penetrating just by pressure. If it is, because I have seen some that actually bleed, like, you know, if it is, like you said, there's no way of kind of confirming if it's in the right tissue, if it's going to seep back out, how deep does it go? Will it occlude a vessel? Because we have vessels on the surface of our lips and we have some in deep down.
Right.
So you can't really regulate that if you don't know where it's going.
It's super uncontrolled, I would say. Like once you kind of hit that pen and get that pressure going from there, you don't know what's going to happen, you know, and it can be scary. And didn't you mention as well in our previous conversation that that type of treatment, if they don't like the results, then you're not able to dissolve something like that, right?
Yeah, so we have a solution called Hylenex. That is what we use to actually dissolve hyaluronic-based filler. I've actually had some colleagues that had clients that had the hyaluronic pen come to them after having it botched pretty much, and we could not dissolve it. And actually, it's actually a risk for us to take someone who went somewhere else, had that done, and try to dissolve it. Because if that dissolver reacts with whatever that gel is that was put into that client's lip and reacts in a bad way, that will be put on us. So a lot of people are actually not reversing it. And some of the hospitals don't carry Hylenex. So if he was to have an emergency to say, oh, I'm going to go to the hospital, they don't have Hylenex. It's like a special order thing. And it takes time to get there. So imagine time equal tissue equal death, you know? So it's like, I wouldn't even risk my life with it.
I know, absolutely not. I'm glad to hear your thoughts on that, though. And just as you said with FDA approval, because I know on FDA's website, they highly recommend not doing the treatment. And I think it does go back to even though we live in a time where we have such an advancement in technology and science, we have access to all these wonderful tools. I feel like in aesthetics and probably even in nursing too, and in cosmetic aesthetics, we rely on like the tried and true, you know, treatments like microneedling, like the Botox, like, you know, different treatments that we know have a lot of science and studies over a long period of time. Something like the Hyaluron pen is fairly new. So what we're doing, we don't really know what the effect's going to be in 6 months to a year and so on and so forth. So I think, again, you don't always have to hop on the trendy aesthetic treatments.
Yes.
Safe over trendy.
Yeah,
I agree.
For sure.
Yeah.
Save your coins and just go to a reliable injector and get the proper treatment done so you're not hating it in the long run.
And I really think that's what it is. A lot of people have FOMO, you know, and it's like, it's so trendy, I want to have it, but we don't have to have everything. I think, like you said, save your coins, wait for that perfect time, come see me.
And then after you see her, come see us. That way,
Yes, I tell all my clients, Andrea.
so we can make sure that we're giving you advanced treatments to kind of help keep up your results from getting like injections, Botox, and things of that nature. So
Yeah, definitely partner with one of your local nurse injectors and nurse practitioners to be able to offer those advanced treatments that are not within your scope of practice as an esthetician.
Yeah. So is there anything else that you would say to any consumers that are looking to get into injections, like overall?
Yes, I would definitely tell them, just take your time, do your research, know that anything you do is a risk. But, you know, if you go to the right person that explains things to the T and you feel informed, go for it. I love injectables.
Me too. Listen, I am not against it. As you get older, you know, a lot of people like to say black don't crack, but it folds, baby. It folds.
Yes, it does.
You know, I'm 38, and when Caryne started working out of the spa, she was like, do you want to get some Botox? I'm like, yes, I want to get some Botox. I've gotten Botox like on my forehead area, my, what is it, crow's feet?
Yep.
Yes, and I've gotten lip fillers from
my
Caryne.
favorite lips.
Yeah, and I feel like she kept it very natural.
Yeah.
And I love it, and I'm not against it. So yeah. Get your lip fillers if you want it. Okay, so before you go, we want to play a little game with you, like what celebrity got what done.
Oh Lord.
Yes, girl. So the first person up is Jennifer Lopez.
Selena, I can't. Hold on. Okay, let's see. Okay, I definitely feel like she got her nose done. Allegedly, guys, allegedly. Don't come for me. definitely jawline filler, and it looks like she got a little bit of tox because it's smooth, but her eyebrows are a little wonky, so I'm gonna say that.
Okay.
So you wouldn't leave it to just the olive oil?
No.
Just checking.
I tried the olive oil for a week. It did nothing for me.
J-Lo swears it's just olive oil, so no, it wasn't.
I tried for a week. Nothing happened. I had to put my appointment back on. No.
That was good.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Okay, so the next celebrity we have is Kendall Jenner.
Oh. Kendall. I love Kendall. I love all the Kardashians, actually. Okay. Actually, I kind of know what Kendall got. She definitely got fillers all over, especially cheeks. I know she got her lips done with her sister, even though they lied and say they didn't, allegedly. And yeah, I would say jawline filler. Looks like her cheeks was definitely done. I would say sprinkle tox because I don't feel like they need much, but I definitely know they tox.
So she got about everything done?
About everything done, but it was tastefully done. I think
she
hers,
looks great.
Yeah, I was saying hers is a lot more tasteful than her sister's.
Well, no, for sure. She looks amazing.
Yeah.
She looks amazing.
She does look really good.
All right.
So Caryne, what do you think something like that costs?
Oh gosh, Hollywood prices. So let's see. I start my full face balances around $2,400, but let's think Hollywood. So if she's getting toxed every 3 to 4 months, that's about on average $600. Fillers, the amount that she has in there, I would say another $5,000. So $6,000-7,000 total. That's just my allegedly priced.
Okay, well, she's spending some money on that face.
Listen, it's not cheap, but it's beautiful.
It is beautiful because, like you said, it was definitely tastefully done. I think she looked so natural, and it actually shocked me when I seen the before and after because I was like, damn, I didn't even know she got that much work done, but you couldn't even tell. So,
but it's also I like that you guys chose this picture because she is still beautiful. She still looks like herself. She looks mature, but she doesn't look aged.
Right.
I feel like in today's time they try to make like derma fillers and Botox age you so bad. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. It's how much you do and what you do. You know, there's so much factors that comes into aging. So I'm happy you guys chose that picture.
Oh, good. Yeah. And the last celebrity is the queen, Beyonce.
Oh, not my twin. Call me Beyonce. You know, I still got NBA. I could perform for you. But anyways, okay. If I had to guess for my good sis, I would say maybe her nose. She does look like she has chin filler. I think her cheeks are authentic. And you know, as you guys know, nowadays she's kind of blonde, so everything kind of looks sucked up.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say chin, maybe a sprinkle of tox, and her nose, but not too much of my good sis, okay?
We love Beyonce over here, okay?
Yes, I am a what's it, a beehive?
A beehive.
I don't know if I'm a beehive.
No, I don't want to claim
I don't
that.
know, because did you see the show on Netflix? I'm not a beehive.
Oh, man. Oh, my God, Caryne, this is so fun. We enjoyed having you on the show today. Thank you so much for coming. I really hope that you shed light to a lot of people who had questions about injections, how to know if you're getting them safely. And if you are questioning what injector you should use, you definitely need to contact Caryne, Miss Pretty Moods Injector. Let them know how they can find you on Instagram.
Yes, on Instagram, I'm under Pretty Moods with the S Injector. You can always slide in my DMs if you have more questions. Our website is www.prettymoodswellness.com.
Thank you so much for being our special guest today, Caryne. I think we can all agree we learned a lot today. Thank you, Collab Crew, for joining us for this episode. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.